All right, so we are here. What's up, Pasquale? What is up, TGK? Hello to everyone who's going to be watching this later on. Didn't quite make it up late live. So I just kind of wanted to jump on and share excitement with you guys, exuberance with you guys. The season is right around the corner. Right around the corner. And as short as the off season was because of our trek to the finals, man, it felt long, didn't it? I don't know about to you. It was a short off season. It's about as short as it can be for anybody. And yet I am just itching and raring to get games that matter again. Man. Should like you're in a rainstorm, TMP. Oh no, a rainstorm. What would cause that, I wonder? Let me see here. I've got my own headset muted to myself. Let me see here. I'm in a rainstorm. Ooh. That's not awesome at all. Microphone. Yeah. Good there. Okay. Headphone? Okay, it's not that. Let's see here. Something screwy? Oh, it does. What the heck? Oh, dang. Where's this rain coming from, guys? Whoa. That is wild. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Okay, well. All right, well, I'll have to figure that out later. I don't have a sticks here, TGK, to play with the dials. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to put up with it and power through, but I'm going to have to figure that out. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I appreciate you looking out for me, man. I appreciate you. I know you're getting back. All right, so let's go ahead and ask the question. Who stood out to you in the preseason? What Mav in particular stood out for you? I mean, in the preseason, Brandon Miller stood out to me from the Hornets, but I think that guy's going to be a star. I think he's just going to be an offensive stud starting this season. But Mavs related, who really stood out to you? Was there a particular name? Just reset it. Oh, I wonder. I don't even know how to reset it without affecting the. Let me see. Y'all give me. Let's see if this does anything. Y'all give me 10 seconds of silence, okay? Let's try something. All right, is that the same? Is that the same? Y'all let me know. Is it the same? If not, I'm probably going to have to change some settings or something. All right, so Pasquale, while y'all let me know, say yes or no. Unplug it and plug it back in. I could do that. Who knows? Who knows, right? Let's see here. Is that the same? Same? It could be, if it's still the same. If it's the same, it's got to be something I did in OBS, TGK, because the audio was crystal clear on your stream last night, and I was just running straight through, Ninja or whatever you're using. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and just power through here, and if you want to hang around, guys, I would love it. But if you got to take off if the rain is too pounding, then I understand too. Yeah, TGK Gortman by a mile. We're going to talk about him. As a matter of fact, we're going to start off talking about him in just a second. I love that. So hold your Gortman thoughts. We'll get into him in just a second when I jump into kind of the first, or really the only segment that I had for this. Pasquale says Gortman certainly jumped out, earned himself a spot, but Lively, that kid is going to have a big second year. Yeah, we'll talk about that too. Heck yes. Heck yes. I mean, I know I wasn't like looking into a crystal ball or anything like that, but yeah. I posted a video months ago about the second year Lively leap, right? I had him copied, I had hid Lively's head on a Mario body jumping, and I was just like, it's coming, guys, it's coming. The second year is going to prove that the first year wasn't a fluke, right? That he wasn't just, right guy, right time, lucky to play with Luka. No, this kid's special. This kid would be special playing with an average NBA point guard. I do believe that. Now, is he lucky to play with Luka? Of course. Any big is lucky to play with Luka. All right. For me, it was Lively showing off Jared. What's up, Jared? For me, it was Lively showing off some new offensive moves. Yeah, the little hook, the little post, the little leaner, the little float. The left hand? I know he did that a couple times last season that I can remember. Like a couple, I don't mean dunks or even off-glass layups, but like, he's gone to like the hook left a couple times, like over the shoulder, lefty hook, and it's looked good. I think he's made it 2 or 3 out of the 4 or 5 times he's taken it. Like, really impressive. Really impressive. Oh, you don't think I'm using my actual mic? This could be. I think you're on your wireless. I don't have a wireless. I have this guy. This is going to be fun to figure out. Definitely. Facts, Jared. Yeah, Jared's spitting facts. Definitely helps having Luka be your point guard during a rookie season. Talk about having pressure taken off of you. All right, so let's go ahead and just jump into this. Y'all let me know if at any point the mic gets better. Because that would let me know, because I might have settings from scene to scene shifting or something like that. That's fascinating. Okay, cool. All right, so let's jump into it. So I got Gortman right off the bat. I created these little graphics for standouts of the game. I doubt there will be very many regular season games where Gortman will be the standout of the game. But of the preseason, what's up, Knicks? Go Mavs, heck yes. Of the preseason, man, Gortman just exploded onto the scene. He did not look good in Summer League, and he was just a very average, kind of like mediocre shooter statistically before. I know. I'm going to have to fix it later, Knicks. I'm going to try to power through. If you can't, man, have a great night. But if you can, hang around for the dialogue because it's going to be good. But I understand. Yeah, everyone's telling me it's screwed up. Maybe when you switch from last night to tonight, your mic setting defaulted. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure it out. There's kids involved in this room and in my computer, and so I'll have to figure it all out. But yeah, Gortman his offensive game looks arrived. It doesn't potentially he could be something, right? It's like, oh no, this kid has an offensive game. He's not tall, but he has a ridiculous wingspan. I think he's 6'2", 6'3", 6'9" wingspan. I've heard that stat quoted over and over again. So I think he can score. To me, he seems to have a little bit of the electricity, a little bit of the burst that maybe, I know people are going to hate me for this, that maybe Hardy lacks. If anyone understands audio stuff, it's Is it Knicks? is that what you meant to say? So, like, yeah, Gortman was just an incredible standout of the preseason. The shot looked pure. The ability to break down his man and score around defenders at the cup, like, that's nice, man. Like, he just looked like a fully realized offensive player. And I don't know, I wasn't paying such close attention to know, like, is he a defensive presence at all? I don't know that the Mavs are putting up just tons of great defensive effort for most of the preseason. But here's the thing. Y'all tell me if you disagree. I'm looking at the comments. Y'all tell me if you disagree. I feel like he's the kind of guy who needs a chance on a bad team. Maybe a year in the G and he'll develop and he'll explode. I just don't know where he fits in. He'd be behind Hardy, who's behind, all of our guards and all of our studs. And I'm just like, oh, gosh, I don't know that he has the standout of the game isn't Papa Pal. Oh, well, always for you. In your heart, right, Mavs? In Mavs views. He's always in your heart. So just this thing of Gortman, I love having a young guy kind of in the wings, waiting in the wings, kind of like Hardy has been the last couple seasons. If that's what he can be, if we can hold on to him, if we could pay him and then develop him and then bring him along, I mean, that's what great franchises do. That's what great organizations, if you're, a hockey guy from the north or something, that's what great organizations do. They find talent, they find a way to hold on to it and develop it, right? And then when we lose a guy because he's going to get paid too much, we bring along the next guy. I mean, like, obviously you can't do that at the highest level of player, but like if you can do that with your bench and your reserves and your backups, it's an amazing trait to have. Nico might be that guy. Nico's he's got the big brain, right? Look at the big brain on Nico. So yeah, Gortman just stood out to me in a big way. All right, now y'all are gonna laugh at me, and I listen. I can take the criticism. I can take the. It sounds more aggressive. Try the output settings. It sounds more aggressive now. I don't know what that means, TGK. I don't know how to adjust the output settings right now. This is the mic I've got set up. I have other mics that I could plug in, but it wouldn't be worth it to do that tonight. But I'll figure it out. We'll get it all worked out. I'm sorry if it's gonna ruin the stream. Isn't that? I tried replug. Look, watch this. Hey, so tell me, when I unplug it, does the static cut? Because on my board, the mic obviously drops down here. Does the static cut? And it just comes back when I plug it back in? Y'all let me know if that's all it is. I'll figure it out. I did do some like goofing around on the mic a couple days ago, but my son was using it. I don't think it was screwing around with him. Yeah, we are not hearing that mix. The mic. Okay. Yeah, and maybe he could. Of course, Pasquale, the role we wanted Gortman to have was a defensive role, right? Largely a defensive role. All right, so let's move on from Gortman. Y'all are going to make fun of me. Yeah, I don't know. If the mic isn't... Is it still just as staticky? So now are we hearing from the mic, or is it the same? Because I just realized when I unplug the mic and plug it back in, it's mute. It automatically starts out muted. So are you hearing the mic now? So here's the question I'm asking: are you hearing the mic now, or is it coming from somewhere else? Like, is this annoying you? Is this blowing your ears up? Are you hearing the mic now? Check. So that means we're hearing you from a different source. I mean, it could be. Is this it? Is this where you're hearing me from? Up here? Is this it? I doubt it's the mic because we can hear you plugged in or unplugged. Okay. Thanks, Johnny. I appreciate it. I'm just going to power through. Thank you guys for your help. I will solve this. Like I said, I've never had this issue before, so I'm curious about it. All right, so let's move on from Gortman. Tap the mic. Yeah, see, I'm not seeing like any huge spike on my readout when I do this. which obviously there should be. It should be a really annoying spike. Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird because I've got my Blue Yeti here and on the dashboard. Okay, so I appreciate the help, guys. We'll power through. I'll power through. If y'all guys got to go, thanks for dropping in. So from Gortman, who I think really was the star of preseason, excuse me. You guys know, if you listen to me at all, you're probably annoyed by me talking about OMX, and I'm not saying he was the star or anything like that. We'll get it. We'll get it, TGK. Don't worry. I will figure it out. I'll go back and read some of the comments. I'm sure y'all suggestions. I'll start over, right? We'll unplug. We'll reset. We'll start over. It's not hard to do that on OBS. I'm sure it was something. I'm sure it's human error, right? Human error. This guy. So I call sticks for. So OMX, I just believe in the kid. I just believe in the kid. I really do. I keep leaning into the mic like I'm talking to the mic. Evidently, I'm not. So I just believe in him. I'm not telling you he's going to be a star. I'm not telling you he's going to be Pascal Siakam. I see similarities in length and kind of speed and movement, things like that. But I just think he could be a solid backup. I really do. He has all the heart and drive and work ethic in the world, and I just love that. I love that kid, man. I love him. I believe in him. I don't think stardom is in his future, but I think he could be a high quality backup or really, really solid reserve in the right role. I don't know that Kid loves him. What's up, Locke? What's up? Yeah, we know about the static before you say anything. I'm gonna have to fix it after the stream. I get the sense that Kid is not the biggest OMAX fan because OMAX is just kind of a lot of untapped potential right now. Yeah, Nick says, I don't know about how I feel about OMAX. He has the physical attributes, but not sure about his confidence. Well, confidence can come, and he talks about how the game has slowed down a lot for him in this second year. He was really good in the G League last year. And when I mean really good, I mean shooting threes. I think he shot like 42% on like 5 or 7 attempts a game, if you guys are more ready with the stats there. But he shot a lot of threes a game and shot a good percentage in the G League. And so the only reason, to touch on Nick's point, the only reason he wouldn't shoot a similar percentage in the big league is confidence, right? Because you know he's good. He's going to be the guy getting great open looks. And so if he proved it in the G League to be able to hit the shots, then the only reason he wouldn't be able to do it on the big stage is confidence. And so that's a really, really quality point. Something a lot of the data guys miss is the human element, right? And confidence is such a huge element. All right, so really excited about what I saw from OMAX in those little bursts. There was still the baby giraffe stumbling over his feet and things like that. That's there. It does happen. I'm not blind to it. I feel like I'm one of his biggest fans and biggest supporters, but I'm not blind to that. So I've definitely tapped the brakes on what he could be this year, but I do think he could be a solid reserve. Yeah, I think he deserves a role, TGK. I do. I really do. Frank says OMAX has the potential of being a good role player. He has the physical tools. Yeah, I think he has the potential to be even more than a good role player. I think he could kind of be like a star role player, right? Like a great, not right now, but I think he has the potential to be like a great seventh man. Like, or a great fifth starter on a really good team. Like the guy who's the fifth option offensively, who always plays his butt off, who will grab you 6 rebounds a game, who will play stellar defense on the 2 guard through the power forward. Like, I think that's there. As long as you don't have to rely on him. I hated in the I hated in the summer league when they were having him initiate the offense. I was just like, oh, this is setting him up to fail. He doesn't have this. He probably will never have the initiator gene, right? Doesn't seem like he does. But I do think he can make the swing pass. I do think he's going to work his butt off for you. The problem is there's just so much talent on the roster, right? There really, really, really is. Johnny says Mavs need to play Naji more minutes, and I'm a Pelicans fan. I miss Naji Marshall. Well, that's good to know. I love hearing from Pelicans fans' perspective on Naji because I don't think he was that impressive in the preseason. Not as like a slam against Naji. I see the pieces there, and his highlights the videos where you watch it, from playing with the Pels, was a lot of great stuff. I didn't see a ton of that. He didn't look like he could beat his man off the dribble. Pretty consistently, like it looked like he couldn't beat his man off the dribble. Maybe that's not his game. We know the lanes are wide for your third, fourth, and fifth option when Luka and Kyrie are out there, and Naji didn't get the benefit of any of that. So, all right, so let's keep moving because I've got players to talk about here. Hardy, man, I was talking about this the other night on TGK's stream. If Hardy can become the catch and shoot focused player who can still attack the rim when he's got a favorable matchup, he's never going to beat guys with speed. He doesn't have some really sick or ridiculous handle. He's not explosively athletic, but he's a baller. Like he does. I mean, to use the term, he feels like a hooper to me. And that shot is right. That shot is right. I don't care how good a practice shooter Tim Hardaway Jr. was. In the games, he was so ridiculously streaky. If Hardaway can kind of start filling that type of role with less minutes because of their roster makeup right now, but if he can start stepping into that kind of role, like, hey, when I come in, we're going to get me looks and I'm going to hit looks. I'm going to drill open looks. If he can become a lethal shooter, he's going to have a 10 to 15 year career in the league. Because guys who can shoot, who can do other things on offense, will always have value. I don't think he's ever going to be a defender. He's shown little flashes of playmaking, but also of bad decisions too. He's a young guy still, maybe he's 21. But if he can hit threes at a 40+% clip, his career is set. He's going to make $100 million in the league, right? Because we know he can score around the rim. We know he has touch off the glass. We know he's creative with the ball when he can exploit a mismatch. So I was really excited about what I saw from Hardy. Hardy's shooting improvement has been impressive. Yeah, I agree, Nix. Frank says it's playmaking for me with Hardy. His buckets, he's buckets, and I need him to make the right decisions. Yeah, he can make the pass, but then he can also make the bad decision, right? So we need to see him lower the bad decisions. I heard I need to come in and troubleshoot audio problems. Yeah, evidently. We're going to have to solve this rain situation. All of a sudden, my mic decided to not work, which is so fun. All right, so Hardy, I've just been impressed. If you guys have followed me on Twitter, engaged with me on here on TGK streams or in my own, I've not been in his corner. Like, I want every Mavs player to achieve their ceiling. I want every Mavs player to be a superstar, right? I want them all to win. I want them to make every shot they take. I want them all to be lockdown defenders. But I haven't really believed in Hardy. And for the past, going into last year's playoffs and in preseason, I'm just like, oh, okay. He did. He took a step. What do you know? A 21-year-old player who's a hard worker took a step. And so he deserves all the credit. And maybe I need to eat a little bit of crow, right? I'm just worried Hardy has a ceiling here. Almost like the potential we waited for. Great. Yeah, it could be. But if he hits the threes, that's the thing. If he hits the threes consistently enough and gets any kind of volume on those threes, his value will be clear, even on a team that's contending for, championship or at least has championship aspirations, right? Is Dante? No. Dante, he is still on the Mavs, yes, but he's going to be out for the next, I think, 3 months with a hand injury. All right, so let's talk about old Naji. I love that picture, by the way. So Naji Marshall, I thought he just looked solid. A couple little flashes on nice little alley-oops to D-Live, couple little passes, couple little defensive plays here and there. Like I said, I'm a little concerned with his ability to be able to beat his man, the man in front of him. I don't mean the next man. I mean the first man. He just doesn't look that quick. But that's okay. That's not why he was brought in. He was brought in to be a hellacious defender, a dog, one of those like pit bull kind of guys, right? He calls himself a dog. I like that. He calls himself a dog. I think he and PJ are going to have a lot of moments where, like, opponents are not happy with them, and I love that, right? I love it. You got to have some tough guys, and I think this Mavs team has gotten so much mentally tougher over the last 18 months. It's awesome, especially since Gafford and PJ came in last season post-trade, right? I think Naji should start over Klay. I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't, because that would mean Klay is performing so well. So listen, I believe in Naji. I believe all the guys who say Naji's better than D. Jones. Like, I don't have a hard time believing that. I don't think he's going to be as great, let's use the term point of attack defender as D. Jones was. but I think his all-around game is so much better than D. Jones. He's not going to be the high flyer, and he's not going to be as effective on the quick guys, but I also don't think he's going to be asked to guard too many of the quick guys. All right, so let's go Grimes. Someone who I think will do a good job. Will do a good job. Oh, there he is. Oh, I think I realized what I just did here. I think Grimes. I don't have this on loop. Awesome. Let me see if I can. There we go. There it is. So I think Grimes is going to guard the quick guys. I think he's going to do a great job of it. He seems every bit as athletic and quick as Josh Green. He seems way more confident. Like I said in a joke, but I was trying to make a serious point, but it just made me laugh. I think he's Josh Green, but good. I think he does everything Josh Green does except better. I think he's already Josh Green's ceiling pretty much, or everything we dreamed Josh Green could be, or the reasonable fans thought Josh Green could be, right? What are y'all thinking about Grimes? I asked TGK last night, do you see a scenario where Grimes ends up being the more important player to the team than Naji? And TGK, I think, had a great response about, like, no, I think Naji's ball handling responsibilities, being a secondary playmaker, things like that will prove to be more valuable. But I see these guys as kind of like in very similar roles, right? I think Grimes will be the better shooter, and he's going to guard the quicker, smaller guys. And when you get in the playoffs, guarding the quick, small guys is often the first or second most important defensive player you have on the floor. Like, it's either your center or the guy who can guard point of attack. And I think Grimes is going to do that for us. And I just think he is a guy who is hungry and ready to prove that he should have never lost his starting spot in the Knicks, and that his stint with the Pistons was just an absolute aberration, just a bad dream. The Pistons were trying to lose anyways. That's why he didn't play there at the end. Frank says, I think Grimes is not as athletic as Josh, but definitely better than Josh. I think that's a really good observation, right? And I think, Frank, to that I would say, as much as we love it, athleticism ain't everything, right? I think Luka Doncic teaches us that. Now, I think Luka Doncic is a world-class athlete, just not in the ways that we normally highly prize in the NBA, right? Like, his change of pace is ridiculous. His size and strength is ridiculous. His balance is ridiculous. His ball handling is ridiculous. His shot making on all of that is ridiculous. But he's not a high flyer. He's not a quick guy. And I think Grimes is a good NBA athlete, not world class though. I agree with you, Frank. I agree. Nick says Grimes' shooting has been awful, but I think he'll pick it up. Has it been awful? I haven't gotten that. I don't have the stats in front of me. I've watched all the minutes of the preseason, and it hasn't been awful to me. Maybe he's missed a bunch of good looks, but they're the kind of looks that I go like, oh, he's going to hit that. Oh, he's going to hit that. He's going to drill a million of those in the regular season. That's kind of how my brain is working with Grimes. I think Grimes' shooting is what could be what makes him important. He has a fast trigger. Yeah, I saw that stat too. He's one of the fastest triggers in the NBA, right? Or maybe that was just in the preseason, but that stat was out there, right? So here we go. Daniel Gafford looks ready to go. We've all heard the stat of he put on like 15, 20 pounds, and he's the bully. He's one of the best backup centers in the league, right? Is he the best backup center in the league? Y'all help me. Is he the best backup center in the league? I need someone to check me on that. I know he's better than some starting centers, but I wonder if he's the best backup center in the league. Who else is there really? It might just be Gafford on an island is the best backup center, the guy who should be a starter somewhere, right? I think he's going to do Gafford things. I think he's going to lead the team and maybe the league again in field goal percentage. I think he's going to get in there. He's going to challenge shots. He's going to get some fouls. He's going to grab, good D. He's a really good defensive rebounder. So I just think Gafford is ready. He just looked ready all preseason. I'm like, okay, good. Gafford came in. His head is right. He's ready to go. And I think he's probably ready to be the backup. Green passed up too many shots. Yeah, we talked about confidence earlier. Green clearly had massive confidence issues, as well as another German fella I know named Maxi Kleba, who's actually not even going to show up on this list. Of course, he didn't play in the preseason. So Gafford, I think, just looks ready. Naz Reid. Okay, Naz. Yeah, he's the sixth man of the year. Yeah, good call, Johnny. Thank you for that reminder. That's a great call. Yeah. Gafford is not nearly the versatile offensive player that Naz is. Naz has the three-point shot. I would say Naz is an atrocious defender, though, right? And I think Gafford is a solid paint presence. I think he's a good shot blocker. I don't think he's a great team defender, but I do think he's a good man defender. Unless he gets overpowered by just, Zubac or one of those just monster guys who's just going to overpower him. But yeah, I would give Naz the nod as well because of the offensive threat that he is, especially from deep. All right, so Gafford just looks ready. He just looks ready. He looks ready to keep doing what he was doing all season, to close the season, and in his best games in the playoffs too. He just looks ready. All right, staying on business. I think PJ's going to come in and be as confident as ever. I just think he's going to come in. He's going to have the most open looks of almost any player in the world because you're going to guard Luka, you're going to guard Kyrie, you're going to guard Klay. Defenses are very aware of what Derek Lively and what Gafford are going to do on those roles. And I think PJ's just going to end up with open shot after open shot after open shot after open shot. And I hope he hits them. I hope he hits them all. I hope he stays tough. He's a tough-minded dude. I think he's a humble guy. I love humility and toughness mixed together. Oh, man. I love that. When you are tough and humble, you're the kind of guy who can find his role, know his role, and thrive in his role, right? And not think he's the superstar. And I think PJ already proved to us that, he knows his role. He wants to thrive in his role. So I love PJ, man. I got some really cool PJ cards over the offseason. Basketball cards. He got his rookie, got some autographs, got some cool stuff. I really like PJ. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be our fifth option as a starter, and that's awesome for him. That is a great role for him. Yeah, he's looked confident with the ball in his hands. In the couple games he's played, he looks like he knows what he wants to do and has the ability to do it, right? He's still not a ball handler. He's still not going to be a facilitator for you. Obviously, he can make a kick pass and things like that. But he's not going to run the offense. I still don't want him bringing the ball up in clutch situations. Oh my gosh, those are some of the scariest moments in the playoffs last year when PJ was bringing up the ball. Oh man. But I think he's going to be such a great contributor. I think he's the kind of guy we know what he is, and I think he still has ceiling to improve. And I think we should root him on to do that, and I think he's going to do it. So, PJ, man. And then, like I've said over and over and over and over and over again, all defensive third team. There's not a third team, right? That's a joke. And they're just defensive second team, first and second. Is there a defensive third team? If you know that, is there a defensive third team? Because I don't think there is. I don't think there is off the top of my head. Is this me proving to be a basketball idiot? I don't know. I don't know. He's looked confident with the ball. Okay, so I read that. Where you were at last night? Okay, there we go. All right, so after PJ, it is my guy. It is my guy. I know he's your guy too, but he's my guy. I jokingly and only half jokingly, I've got a stack of 50 maybe Derek Lively rookie cards over here. I'm not exaggerating. I'll pull them out sometime and just to show them off. But this is it. He's my favorite Mav. I'm not saying he's the best Mav. He's my favorite Mav. I love this dude. I love everything about him. I love everything about him. He's going to be the Mav starter. If he's not, he should be. If he's not the starter, he should play the most minutes. The defense hums when he is on the floor. And I'm not even trying to slam Gafford. They're just not the same defensive presence. Gafford may be the better shot blocker. I'm not sure he will be this season. He definitely was last year. But this kid just gets it. His basketball IQ is off the charts. I don't know if it's because he's a film nerd or if he's just preternatural like LeBron James. He just understands the game. I don't understand. I mean, I don't know. But his basketball IQ is just insane. You should see him adapt. He learns and he adapts. He learns and he evolves. He evolves, and he keeps going. He's just absolutely awesome. And, of course, the perfect complement to Luka's game. Just perfect. We've been watching in the preseason, how many times did you watch Lively after a pick and roll go, oh, Luka would have got him that ball. Oh, that would have been a dunk. Oh, that would have been alley-oop. Oh, that would have been a layup. And no one can throw the passes that Luka can throw. I mean, almost no one. LeBron can. Joker can sometimes. I think he's a little overrated as a passer, but he is a great passer as a big. There's a few guys who can throw those passes, but I don't think anyone does it like Luka. And so these guys are just like they have like a symbiotic relationship that is absolutely incredible. Lively can be the best six, better than Nas. If he's the sixth man, I just think he has to play starter minutes, right? Like, I don't care if he comes off the bench. If it's the Jason Terry thing where it's like, come off the bench, but wink, 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 that's fine. That's fine, especially if he's cool with it. And I think he's a humble young guy. But he's got to play starter minutes. And we know he's got to close games because we saw the difference. When it really mattered, we saw the difference in the defense when Luka was out there, or when Lively was out there, and when anyone else was out there, right? He just looks ready to me. He looks better. He looks better. Like y'all were already pointing out, he looks like he's diversified his game and added some things to the bag. Like, it just looks so good. All right, so let's move on from only praise that I have. I heard a couple people criticizing Derek Lively, and I'm just like, I wanted to go like, oh, you don't understand basketball. Cool. Good. Got it. I was like, no. He's awesome, and he's going to thrive. He's going to be so good. And defenses are just going to scratch their heads at which poison they're going to have to pick, right? All right, so let's talk. First of all, that's my favorite picture of all time. One of the top 3-4 greatest shooters of all time, wearing another one of the most important revolutionary shooters of all time's jersey, and my favorite athlete of all time's jersey. Dude, what gets better than that? Klay Thompson and Dirk's jersey. All right, so what do y'all think? I'm going to give you all a couple seconds to kind of make some comments. What do you think about Klay? Not how did he look in the preseason, because, I mean, if you want to tell me that, I get it. He looked bad a lot of times. Played 0 minutes with Luka and not enough minutes with Kyrie, and looked rusty and admitted to being like, I love this about it. He's a 34-year-old man. He's a 34-year-old 4-time champion, and he admitted to being nervous. Like, that was awesome. I love that. I mean, like, everyone says Klay's super lovable. He's quirky, he's funny, he's super smart, very cerebral player. But like, I just love that honesty and that transparency that a veteran of his caliber could just admit, like, hey man, I'm nervous. Like, I love that. I thought that was so cool. Here's the thing. What do y'all think about Klay? While y'all are letting me know what you think, feel great. Klay is far superior. Well, yeah, heck yeah. To THJ. By the way, Frank, I don't know if you were around. You were around. Was basically the biggest critic of THJ for the last 4 years. Like, after about a half season or a season of him on the Mavs, I was like, nah, I know what you are. You are not a winning basketball player. You can get hot. You can win us a game. You can win us a couple games. As a matter of fact, that one playoff game, he scored 16, 18 points or something like that, and was a contributor to the win in the playoffs last year. But then there was all the other minutes, all of the other games, all of the other bricks, all of the other, you're an atrocious defender. Like, yeah. So I'm excited about Klay. You see how easy it is to get me derailed when you talk about Tim Hardaway Jr.? He is going to hit open shots, guys, and he's going to have open shots. We know this, right? We know it. He's going to have open shots. How many times does Luka do that thing where he dribbles, attracts 3 defenders, and then just kind of lazy? It looks lazy to us, but we know it's like a pinpoint precision, just kind of tosses it back over his head. Like, how many times that happened to PJ and D. Jones? Over and over and over and over and over. He finds Kyrie, too. And you go, oh, it won't happen to Klay. They'll always guard Klay. You would say the same thing about Kyrie, and yet Luka finds Kyrie open over and over. Luka is just such a ridiculous threat that your defensive strategy falls apart because you got to stop him with the ball, right? There are very few defenses that are disciplined enough to not collapse on Luka, right? Or to collapse and recover. The Celtics being one of them, right? But almost no other defense is that disciplined and that skilled. He's gonna feast. He is going to feast. I'm not saying he's gonna be like Klay of 7 years ago or something like that, but this version of Klay is going to be awesome. If you disagree, let me know. Klay will get buckets. He will be put in a position to do so. Is his defense still there, though? Pasquale, I think enough of it is there. Yeah, we're gonna have to rely on guys like Grimes and Naji during certain stretches of the game. Yeah, there's going to be tough offense for defense and defense for offense substitutions that may ruffle his feathers. He's a grown man, and he wants to win. He's got to know he's not who he was 7 years ago. He's got to know he's not all defensive team Klay Thompson anymore, right? He's got to know that he's not going to guard quick guys. I think he can hold up against big guys. Y'all disagree? I think he can hold up. I think he's quick enough, and he's definitely strong enough, and he's definitely smart enough to guard guys who are stronger than him, but not necessarily way quicker than him. It's the guys who are quick that are going to give him a lot of problems. It's the guys who are really quick that are going to give him problems. I'm just so excited. I'm thrilled. All right, let's move. Yes. Yes. Knicks, I like that. I love that. Did y'all see what Nick just said? Our Miami Ray Allen. Catch and shoot, baby. Catch and shoot, baby. You're not the... do y'all remember Milwaukee Ray Allen? Do y'all remember Seattle Ray Allen? Do y'all remember what Ray Allen was before? He was break you down, dunk on your head Ray Allen, and the best shooter in the world. And then he aged out of it, right? His athleticism left him. But he still was the greatest shooter in the world, right? I mean, you can throw in other guys that are just shooters like Korver and things like that. But like as far as like all-around basketball player, Ray Allen is... I would probably have Ray Allen to be the second greatest shooter of all time behind Steph. And then Klay somewhere 3, 4, or 5, somewhere in there. Yeah, I love that mix. I love that. I had not specifically heard that comparison. Think Miami Ray Allen. If that's what Klay can be for us, awesome. Awesome. Like, hey, dude, can you still hit open looks? Because we're going to get them for you. Yeah, I sure can. Like, heck, yes. This guy, though, Kyrie Irving, just looked good in the preseason to me. He played within himself, wasn't pushing, wasn't stressing. Was only playing the minutes the kid wanted to play him. But he looks sharp. He looks sharp. And you know what? I'm not gonna focus on this during the regular season much. I may bring it up when the playoffs roll back around. But Kyrie kind of owes us. I don't mean that in an antagonistic way. Kyrie shrunk against the Celtics. Now, they're the team best equipped to frustrate him. I get it. But he did not look like himself. Missing contested looks, I get it. I get it. The Celtics are going to do that to you. Missing open looks, that's not your game, Kyrie. You drill open looks. And he was missing everything. He was missing everything in Boston. The open looks, the contested looks. He just did not look right. It looked like it was up here. It looked like it got into him. And I don't think that's a stretch to say that. I don't think it's a stretch to say I'm cheering for him. I think he's a wizard. You're a wizard, Kyrie. Like he's that Hagrid meme, right? I just think he's going to be awesome. Yeah, I think he's got something to prove. And I don't say that. I say that with I'm fully behind him. Like this is Jalen Hurts push-tush kind of talk. Like, you got it, Jalen. I'm going to push you. Like that's how I feel about Kyrie. I'm behind you. I'm pushing you forward, but go forward. Show the league this year. Like I would love to see him play more than the minimum 65 and get third-team All-NBA. I think that's there for him. Unless the voters just hate him. The media bias is so steered against him. But, man, I want to see him. He looked good. He looked good. I could go on and on. If Kyrie gets injured, Hardy fits in great. No injuries. Please. I mean, he's definitely faced injuries throughout his career. Kai is ready to go. One goal on mine. I like that, Pasquale. I like that a lot. And then, of course, after we didn't see him, but the killer. We need to see the killer, right? The killer, the man. It all hangs on. We've got a solid team. I mean, I think we got a really solid team, really good team. But it all hangs on this gentleman right here. It all hangs on the assassin. It all hangs on the kid. Who's going into, his 7th year? 7th season? Is that what it is? It's crazy. He's not a kid anymore. He's a father. He's in his mid-20s. Like, that's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. So he's going to do what he's going to do. Will he keep in better condition? I hope so. Will he lay off the beer? I hope so. Will he get less annoyed with the refs? I don't know if he'll get less annoyed. Will he be able to control himself? Man, I sure hope so. He's not a baby anymore. He's the greatest player in the world for me. I think he's the greatest player in the world. I think he's going to be one of the greatest players of all time. That's the trajectory he's on, right? Should have won an MVP already. But, you know, it hangs on the kid. It hangs on Luka Doncic. We will go as far as he can carry us. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face because it's true. He was injured throughout the playoffs, and people don't mention it enough. And then he had some bad moments too, where he let the refs get in his head. But still, he still was the best player on the floor almost every single game throughout the playoffs, including the finals. Right? That's who he is. He's the best player in the world. He's the best freaking player in the world. Luka Doncic. All right, let's see if we got any traction here. Oh, just a couple comments. Give me a word or phrase that describes the Mavs preseason to you, Dr. Leo. Thanks. Meaningless. Yeah, as long as we were healthy, right? As long as we didn't get the injuries, that's all that matters. El Capitan. Jaden McDaniel's face after the switch. A reference that I am not picking up on this moment. All right, guys, I'm going to go fix some audio problems. I'm excited. Basketball's here, baby. The NBA is here. Have a good one. Until the next time I see you, go Mavs.